The war ended not with explosions and death, but with a simple question from Grand Admiral Insu Zhang. His voice reached every alien ship across the battlefield. Do you yield? The three alien commanders looked at their disabled fleets. Thousands of ships floated helplessly in space. Their weapons were neutralized. Their crews were unharmed but completely powerless. Around them, human vessels waited patiently. Ziktar was the first to speak. His proud Vrak voice had become small and defeated. We yield. Velthane's crystal body had lost its bright colors. Now it glowed with dull gray light. The Theran Empire yields. Foreman's gas form swirled slowly inside his suit. All the violent colors had faded away. The Morvani Federation yields. Good, Insu replied. Now we can begin the real conversation. What happened next surprised the aliens more than anything that had come before. Instead of demanding their surrender or claiming their territory, the humans began offering help. Medical ships moved between the alien fleets, treating wounded crews. Engineering vessels repaired damage to alien systems. Supply ships provided food and water to alien personnel who had been trapped in disabled vessels for hours. Why are you helping us? Ziktar asked. We came here to conquer your species. Captain Yewan Li, commander of the medical ship Healing Hand, answered while her crew treated injured Vrak soldiers. Because you are no longer our enemies. You are beings who need help. This was humanity's first demonstration of their true nature. They could destroy entire civilizations, but they chose to heal instead. Diplomatic Corps Chief Na Un-Yu arrived at the battlefield in her vessel, the Open Hand. She had been Earth's lead negotiator for 30 years. Her job now was to reshape galactic politics. The age of conquest is over, she announced to the alien commanders. Humanity will not allow any species to prey upon another. What does that mean? Velthane asked nervously. Nayun activated her ship's holographic display. It showed the entire galaxy, with human fleets positioned in every major system. It means we are now the galaxy's peacekeepers. When conflicts arise, we will resolve them. When wars begin, we will end them. The aliens watched in shock as the display showed human ships appearing around their homeworlds. But these weren't invasion forces. They were protection fleets. Your worlds are now under human protection, Nayun explained. Not human control, protection. You will govern yourselves as you always have, but you will not attack other species. President He Youngshin's image appeared on communication screens throughout the alien fleets. She spoke from the presidential palace on Earth, but her words reached across the galaxy. Today the galaxy changes, she said. For too long, powerful species have conquered weaker ones. Wars have destroyed countless civilizations. That ends now. She gestured to displays showing human fleets around every inhabited world. Humanity accepts the responsibility of galactic peace. We will protect the weak from the strong. We will prevent wars before they begin. We will ensure that all species have the right to exist in freedom. The alien commanders struggled to understand this concept. In their experience, the strongest always ruled the weakest. They had expected humans to become galactic conquerors. You could control the entire galaxy, Foreman said. Why do you choose not to? President Shin smiled. Because control is not the same as leadership. We do not want to rule other species. We want to help them grow and prosper. Fleet Admiral Seung-ho Ryu demonstrated this principle. His massive ship, the Worldbreaker, could have destroyed planets. Instead, it began broadcasting educational programs to every world in the galaxy. Human science, human art, human philosophy, he announced. We share our knowledge freely with all species. Learn from us as we learned from you. The transformation began immediately. Human research vessels appeared in every star system, offering to share advanced technology. Human medical ships began curing diseases that had plagued alien worlds for centuries. Human agricultural experts helped planets produce more food with less effort. Dr. Jin Ho Nam, whose inventions had helped win the war, now focused on peaceful applications. His bio-improvement systems helped Vrak worlds grow stronger and healthier. His reality stabilizers allowed Theron planets to explore new dimensions safely. His atmospheric controllers helped Morvani colonies create perfect living conditions. We use the same knowledge for creation that we used for defense, he explained to alien scientists. The choice between war and peace is in how we apply our understanding. 3 months after the war ended, Ambassador Hyunwoo Kim returned to Kepler Station. The same meeting room where peace talks had failed now served as the center of a new galactic government. The three alien powers that had mocked humanity now sought human advice on every major decision. Their representatives sat at the same table where they had once planned to divide human space between themselves. "We need help with the Rigel rebellion," Ziktar reported. His tone was respectful now, even grateful. "Our bioweapons are too destructive for a police action. Human peacekeepers are already en route," Yunwu replied. "They will resolve the conflict without casualties on either side." Velthane brought another problem. "The Vega trade dispute is escalating toward war. Both sides are arming their merchant fleets. Human mediators will arrive tomorrow," Yunwu assured him. "They will find a solution that benefits both parties." Forman raised his hand carefully. "The Centauri pirates are raiding our gas mining operations. Our gravity weapons might damage the mining equipment. Human patrol ships will establish a protective cordon around your facilities," Yunwu promised. "The pirates will be captured alive and offered rehabilitation programs." This was the new galactic order. Problems that would have led to wars were now solved by human intervention. Species that had fought for millennia now worked together under human guidance. But the most important change was in how aliens viewed humanity. The species they had dismissed as primitive had become the galaxy's teachers, protectors, and leaders. Captain Su-Young Park commanded one of the human patrol fleets that now kept peace across the galaxy. Her ships were constantly busy, preventing conflicts and resolving disputes. "The Antares system has a resource conflict developing," her communications officer reported. "Send a mediation team," Su-Young ordered, "and deploy the economic development specialists. Most resource conflicts disappear when there's enough for everyone. The Procyon pirates are threatening merchant vessels again. Intercept them with the rehabilitation fleet," Su-Young decided. "Most pirates are just people who need better opportunities." Two systems near the galactic core are preparing for war over territorial boundaries. "Historical research team first, then the Boundary Commission," Su-Young commanded. "Most territorial disputes are based on misunderstandings that can be resolved with better information. This was how humanity kept the peace. Not through force, but through understanding. Not through conquest, but through cooperation." 1 year after the failed peace talks, the galaxy was more peaceful than it had been in centuries. Wars between major powers had ended. Minor conflicts were resolved quickly and fairly. Trade flourished as species learned to trust each other under human protection. The three alien powers that had once planned to conquer humanity now served as humanity's closest allies. They had learned that being protected by the strongest species in the galaxy was better than trying to be the strongest themselves. Ziktar commanded frac bioships that worked alongside human vessels to heal damaged worlds. Velthane led Theran crystal ships that helped stabilize reality in unstable regions of space. Forman controlled Morvani gas ships that used their gravity manipulation to help build new colonies. "We were fools to think we could conquer humans," Ziktar admitted to his fellow commanders during a private meeting. "We were even greater fools to think conquest was desirable," Velthane replied. "Being partners with humanity is far better than being their enemies." "Or their subjects," Forman added. "They could have enslaved us all. Instead, they made us better versions of ourselves." Ambassador Hyun-Woo Kim stood at the observation deck of Kepler Station, looking out at the peaceful stars. The galaxy was finally at peace, not because one species had conquered all others, but because one species had chosen to protect all others. The peace talks had collapsed, but from that collapse had emerged something better than anyone had imagined. A galaxy where the strongest used their power not to dominate, but to serve. Humanity had learned the greatest lesson of all. True strength was not about winning wars, but about making wars unnecessary. The three alien powers tried to retreat from the Sol system, but they quickly discovered that escape was impossible. Every time they tried to jump to faster-than-light travel, human ships appeared to block their path. The humans seemed to know exactly where the aliens would go before the aliens knew it themselves. "How are they everywhere at once?" Ziktar demanded as his biofleet found itself surrounded again. "They must have thousands more ships hidden somewhere," Velthane said, his crystal body flickering with nervous energy. "Where could they hide so many vessels?" Forman bubbled with growing fear. Their answer came when Admiral Heejin Bayek's hidden fleet emerged from the outer solar system. But it wasn't thousands of ships, it was tens of thousands. Each vessel was different from the others. Each one looked like it had been built by mad scientists who had been told to create something impossible. Captain Do-yeon Kwan's ship, the Paradox engine, demonstrated the first impossibility. It began arriving at multiple battle locations simultaneously. The same ship fought wrack biovessels near Mars, while also attacking Theron crystals near Jupiter, and engaging Morvani gas ships near Saturn. One ship cannot be in 3 places at once. Velthane protested. You are correct, Do-yeon replied over the communication channel. This ship exists in 17 different locations right now. The Paradox engine had mastered space-time manipulation beyond anything the galaxy had seen. It could split itself across multiple realities while remaining a single vessel. Every version shared the same consciousness and memories. Commander Woo Jin-seo's vessel, the Logic Bomb, demonstrated humanity's mastery of information warfare. It began broadcasting pure concepts into alien minds. Wrack hive minds suddenly couldn't remember how to coordinate their bioships. Theron crystal brains started thinking in contradictions that made their reality weapons malfunction. Morvani gas consciousness became confused about basic physics. They are attacking our minds directly. Ziktar clicked in horror. How can thoughts be weapons? But the true revelation came when strategic coordinator Ye-Jin Moon activated the Sol system's real defenses. What the aliens had thought was an ordinary star system revealed its true nature. The asteroid belt began moving with purpose. Each rock was a disguised weapons platform that had been waiting for decades. Thousands of hidden bases opened to reveal massive gun batteries, missile launchers, and reality distortion generators. Mars split open like an egg, revealing enormous shipyards that had been built inside the planet. Jupiter's moons peeled away their surface layers to show massive fortress cities bristling with weapons. Saturn's rings reorganized themselves into a giant targeting array that could track individual molecules across the solar system. The entire system is a weapon, Formon gasped. They turned their home into a fortress. But even this was not the greatest shock. Jupiter itself began to change. The gas giant's atmosphere swirled away to reveal something that made the alien commanders question their sanity. Hidden inside Jupiter was a ship. Not just any ship, a vessel the size of Earth's moon. Its hull was black metal covered in weapon ports. Energy signatures showed power levels that could destroy planets. It was the largest warship ever built. Fleet Admiral Sung-Ho Ryu's voice boomed from the massive vessel. Welcome to the Worldbreaker. You wanted to see humanity's true military power. Here it is. The giant ship began moving toward the alien fleets. As it traveled, smaller vessels emerged from launch bays along its hull. Not dozens or hundreds. Millions of ships poured out of the Worldbreaker like angry insects from a disturbed hive. Each small ship was a complete fighting unit. They moved in perfect coordination, sharing information instantly. When alien weapons destroyed some of them, the others immediately adapted their defenses. When alien ships tried new tactics, the human swarm countered before the tactics could be completed. How many ships do they have? Velthane whispered. His question was answered when sensors detected movement throughout the galaxy. Human fleets were appearing in every major star system. Not invasion forces, they were already there. They had been hiding for years, watching and waiting. The Vrak homeworld found itself surrounded by human bioships that were more advanced than anything the Vrak had created. The Theron capital system discovered human reality manipulators that could bend space-time in ways Theron science said were impossible. The Morvani gas giant colonies watched human gravity controllers reshape their worlds with casual ease. How long have they been preparing for this? Ziktar asked in a broken voice. Since we first made contact with them 50 years ago, Admiral Seung-ho replied from the Worldbreaker. We studied every alien species we met. We learned from every technology we encountered. We prepared for the day someone would try to conquer us. Captain Yoon Seo Kim commanded a vessel called the Reality Anchor. Her ship's purpose was to prevent alien reality manipulation, but she revealed it could do much more. She began rewriting the laws of physics in local areas, making Vrak bioweapons unable to function, Theron reality beams impossible to create, and Morvani gravity control completely useless. We can change the rules of existence itself, she announced. Your weapons work because reality allows them to work. We can make reality forbid them instead. The alien commanders realized they weren't fighting a war anymore. They were experiencing a demonstration of humanity's complete superiority. Every alien strength had been neutralized. Every alien advantage had been turned into a weakness, but The most terrifying moment came when Grand Admiral Insu Jiang arrived with the Deep Space Fleet. These ships had been exploring beyond the galaxy's edge for 20 years. They brought back technologies from civilizations the galactic powers didn't even know existed. We learned from species that conquered black holes, Insu reported calmly. We studied races that built universes for fun. We traded with entities that existed before time began. His ships demonstrated capabilities that made the previous human weapons look primitive. They could create new types of matter, manipulate the fundamental forces of reality, and exist in dimensions that had no names. You thought you were the galaxy's greatest powers, Insu continued. But you never looked beyond your small corner of space. Humanity did. We learned from everyone. The alien fleet stopped fighting. They couldn't fight. Every weapon they fired was absorbed and analyzed. Every tactic they tried was predicted and countered. Every ship they sent was disabled without being destroyed. What do you want from us? Formon finally asked. His gas form had changed from its usual colors to a dull gray of defeat. We want you to understand something, Admiral Sung Ho replied. This demonstration was not about showing our strength. It was about showing our restraint. Restraint? Velthane asked weakly. Every ship in your combined fleets could have been destroyed in the first second of battle, Sung Ho explained. We chose not to destroy them. We chose to capture them instead. We chose to study your weapons rather than simply neutralize them. The truth sank in slowly. The humans hadn't been fighting to win. They had been fighting to learn. The alien fleets had served as unwilling teachers, demonstrating their capabilities so humans could understand and surpass them. We could have ended this war before it began, Fleet Admiral Sung Ho added from the Worldbreaker. We knew about your alliance. We knew about your invasion plans. We allowed you to attack because we wanted to see what you were really capable of. Now we know, Admiral Hyojin concluded. And now you know what humanity is capable of. The alien commanders looked around at their disabled fleets. Thousands of ships floated helplessly in space, their weapons neutralized, their crews unharmed but completely powerless. They had brought the galaxy's greatest military force to destroy humanity. Instead, they had discovered that humanity was already the galaxy's greatest military force. They just hadn't known it. The alien retreat lasted only 6 hours. Pride and desperation drove the 3 galactic powers to return with everything they had. This time they brought their entire military forces. Every warship, every weapon, every soldier they could gather. Ziktar commanded 2,000 Vrak biovessels. Each ship was a living creature bred for war. Their hulls could heal damage in seconds. Their weapons were organic parasites that ate enemy ships from the inside. Velthane led 1,500 Theron crystal ships. These vessels could bend reality itself, making matter disappear or changing energy into solid forms. Some could even exist in multiple dimensions at once. Formon controlled 800 massive Morvani gas ships. Each one was the size of a small moon. They could create gravity fields strong enough to crush planets or stretch space-time until it tore apart. This time we will destroy every human ship, Ziktar declared over the combined alien communications network. We will erase their pathetic species from existence. Velthane agreed, his crystal body pulsing with angry red light. When we are finished, humans will be nothing but cosmic dust, Formon added, his gas form swirling with violent colors. But when the alien armada arrived at the edge of the Sol system, they found something that made no sense. The human fleet was smaller than before. Only a few hundred ships floated in formation around Earth. Where are the rest of their vessels? Ziktar wondered aloud. Perhaps they fled in fear, suggested Velthane, though he sounded uncertain. Admiral Sung Ho Yoon's voice came over the communication channels. Welcome back. We hoped you would return with more friends. Surrender now, Ziktar screeched. We have brought enough ships to darken your sun. You brought exactly what we expected, Sung Ho replied calmly. Thank you for making this easier. The aliens attacked with overwhelming force. Every weapon fired at once. Biomissiles, reality beams, and gravity waves filled space between the two fleets. Then the impossible happened again. But this time it was far worse than before. Engineering Chief Min Seo Kim's ship, the Merchant's Vengeance, began to change. The hull flowed like liquid metal, reshaping itself in seconds. What had looked like a simple cargo hauler transformed into something that had never existed before. Weapon ports opened along its sides. But these weren't normal guns. As Vrak biomissiles approached, The ship created anti-biological ray beams that turned living weapons into harmless dust. When Theron reality weapons fired, the ship generated perfect counter frequencies that made the alien beams cancel themselves out. Impossible, Velthane whispered. Ships cannot reshape themselves during battle. But Minseo's vessel was just the beginning. All across the human fleet, ships began changing. Hulls flowed into new configurations. Weapons emerged that had been built while the aliens watched. Defenses activated that used principles the galaxy had never seen. Captain Do-Hyun Lee commanded what appeared to be a small patrol boat called Adaptive Response. When a squadron of Vrak fighters attacked him, his ship scanned their bioarmor and immediately began producing custom ammunition. The first shots dissolved Vrak organic hulls like acid. The second volley contained viruses that turned the aliens' living weapons against their own ships. The third attack used frequency generators that made Vrak biocomputers think they were under attack by their own fleet. All of this happened in less than 30 seconds. Fleet engineer Jae-hyun Liam coordinated the human response from his mobile command center. His screens showed the battle from every angle. Computer systems analyzed alien tactics faster than alien minds could think. Vrak Formation 7 is attempting a pincer movement, he reported. Counter tactics uploaded to all nearby vessels. Theron Group 3 is charging reality bombs, came another update. Dimensional stabilizers activated in target zone. Morvani Cluster 5 is preparing a gravity storm, announced a third operator. Atmospheric chaos fields deployed. But the truly terrifying moment came when weapons specialist Dalmi Park activated something called the Infinite Arsenal Protocol. Her ship, the Innovation, began creating weapons that had never existed before. The first new weapon was designed specifically to destroy Vrak bioships. It fired beams of pure entropy that made living matter age 1,000,000 years in seconds. Vrak vessels crumbled into ancient dust as their biohulls experienced instant death from old age. The second weapon targeted Theron reality manipulation. It projected fields of absolute certainty that locked the laws of physics in place. Theron ships found their dimension-shifting abilities completely useless. They were trapped in normal space with no way to escape. The third weapon countered Morvani gravity control. It created zones of random gravitational direction that made Morvani calculations meaningless. Their ships spun helplessly as gravity pulled them in 12 directions at once. These weapons did not exist an hour ago. Formon exclaimed in terror. How can they build new technology during battle? Ziktar demanded. Captain Yujin Seo's ship provided the answer. The rapid evolution was humanity's mobile weapons laboratory. As the battle continued, it studied every alien attack and created perfect counters in real time. When the Vrak tried a new bioweapon, the ship immediately produced an antidote. When the Theron used an unknown reality frequency, the ship generated the exact cancellation wave needed to stop it. When the Morvani attempted a novel gravity technique, the ship created the precise disruption field to neutralize it. Every human ship was connected to this learning network. New discoveries spread through the fleet instantly. What one ship learned, all ships knew within seconds. The aliens found themselves fighting an enemy that evolved faster than they could adapt. Every tactic they tried was countered before it could succeed. Every weapon they fired became useless as humans developed defenses. Commander Woojin Seo demonstrated humanity's information warfare capabilities. His ship, the Data Storm, began hacking alien computer systems with viruses that rewrote themselves to match any defense. Vrak biocomputers started giving random orders to their own weapons. Theron crystalline minds began calculating problems that had no solutions, causing their ships to freeze in confusion. Morvani gas brains received false sensor data that made them see enemies where none existed. Strategic Coordinator Yejin Moon revealed the true scope of human preparation. Her command vessel, the Deep Thinker, had been analyzing galactic warfare for decades. She knew every alien tactic, every weakness, every psychological pressure point. Ziktar is becoming frustrated, she reported. He will order a desperate charge in approximately 3 minutes. Velthane is losing confidence in Theron's superiority, came another analysis. He will attempt to retreat in 5 minutes unless we prevent it. Formon is realizing that overwhelming force is not working, said a third report. He will try to negotiate in 7 minutes. All 3 predictions came true exactly on schedule, but the most shocking revelation came when Captain Haiwan Jung activated her ship's true capabilities. The Paradox engine had been disguised as a simple frigate. In reality, it was humanity's first time manipulation vessel. The ship began arriving at battle locations before it had left its previous position. It fired weapons at enemies who were still planning their attacks. It defended allies from threats that wouldn't exist for another hour. They are breaking causality itself. Velthane screamed as his reality weapons were destroyed by future-fired human missiles. The alien fleet began to panic. Nothing they did worked. Every advantage they had possessed was turned against them. Their bioweapons were neutralized. Their reality manipulation was countered and their gravity control was disrupted. But the worst part was the growing realization that humans were holding back. The human fleet was clearly capable of destroying all the alien ships immediately. Instead, they were testing new weapons and gathering data. The aliens weren't fighting for victory anymore. They were serving as unwilling test subjects for human military research. Enough, Ziktar finally screamed. We surrender, we yield. Just stop demonstrating new ways to destroy us. Admiral Sung Ho's face appeared on all alien communication screens. His expression was politely interested, like a scientist observing an experiment. Surrender? He asked. But we're just getting started. We have so many more weapons to test. The three alien commanders looked at each other in pure terror. They had brought the galaxy's most powerful military force to destroy a primitive species. Instead, they had discovered that humans were the most dangerous opponents the galaxy had ever produced. And the humans were still learning, still adapting, still becoming more dangerous with every passing second. Admiral Sung Ho Yoon stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Earth's Pride. Through the main screen, he watched the alien fleet approach. Thousands of ships filled the darkness of space. They came in three distinct groups, each one larger than anything Earth had ever faced. Sir, said his communications officer, the aliens are demanding our surrender. Put them on screen, Sung Ho ordered. The image showed Ziktar, the Vrak commander. His four eyes glowed with confidence. Behind him, hundreds of bioships moved like a living swarm. Humans, Ziktar clicked. You are surrounded and outnumbered. Surrender now and we will allow some of you to serve us. Before Sung Ho could answer, another signal came through. Velthane's crystal form appeared on the screen. His body pulsed with bright colors. The Theron Empire offers you one chance, he said. Bow to our superior technology and accept your place as our subjects. A third signal arrived from Formon. The Morvani leader swirled inside his suit like an angry storm. Your primitive ships cannot stand against our gravity weapons, he declared. Submit to the inevitable. Admiral Sung Ho looked at the three alien commanders. His weathered face showed no fear. You came here expecting to find a weak species, he said calmly. You thought we would beg for mercy, will you not? Ziktar asked, surprised by the human's calm tone. No, Sung Ho replied. You had your chance for peace. Now you face humanity at war. The alien commanders looked confused. They had expected terror and desperate pleas. Instead, they saw quiet determination. Attack! Ziktar screeched. Show these mammals their place! The Vrak bioships launched first. Organic missiles flew through space like angry insects. Each missile was alive, able to change direction and hunt targets. They had destroyed 100 alien fleets before, but something strange happened. As the missiles approached human ships, they began to slow down. Then they stopped completely. Finally, they turned around and flew back toward the Vrak fleet. What is happening? Ziktar demanded. On the human ship Silent Thunder, Captain Yuri Song smiled. Her vessel was equipped with Jin Ho Nam's bio-reversal weapons. The Vrak missiles were still alive, but now they thought the Vrak ships were enemies. Fire the viral bombs, Yuri ordered. Invisible clouds of engineered viruses spread through space. When they touched the Vrak bioships, the alien hulls began to dissolve. The living armor that had protected them for centuries started eating itself. Meanwhile, the Theron fleet attacked with their reality weapons. Beams of twisted space-time lanced out toward human ships. These weapons could bend the laws of physics, making matter disappear or changing energy into strange forms. Commander Ki Sung Han commanded the destroyer Iron Wind. When the reality beams struck his ship, they simply bounced off. The Theron weapons hit Jin Ho's reality-strengthening shields and reflected back at their own fleet. Impossible, Velthane shrieked as his own weapons tore apart 3 Theron ships. Our reality manipulation is perfect. Not anymore, Ki Sung said into his communicator. He fired a spread of human missiles. But these were not normal weapons. As they flew, they projected fields of strengthened reality around them. Theran ships that tried to phase shift found themselves locked in normal space, unable to use their favorite defensive trick. The Morvani attack came last, but with overwhelming force. Foreman activated his fleet's gravity weapons. Invisible hands of twisted space-time reached for human ships, trying to crush them like insects. Captain Yoonji-oh commanded the battleship Earthbound Fury. When the gravity well surrounded her ship, she simply ignored it. Her vessel was equipped with Jinho's atmospheric disruption system. Random air currents made the Morvani calculations worthless. Their gravity control is failing, Yoonji reported. Moving to attack position. The Earthbound Fury flew straight through the Morvani gravity field as if it wasn't there. The Morvani ships tried to adjust, but their computer systems couldn't compensate for the random air disturbances. Across the battlefield, human ships revealed capabilities that made no sense to alien minds. The humans weren't using standard galactic technology. They were using principles that the aliens had never discovered. Captain Minho Jian commanded the converted freighter Trader's Revenge. His ship looked like a simple cargo vessel, but when Vrak fighters attacked, the cargo hold opened to reveal something impossible. Launching adaptive drones, Minho announced. Hundreds of small robots flew out of his ship. Each drone scanned the approaching Vrak fighters and immediately built weapons designed to destroy that specific enemy. Within seconds, the drones had created bioacid sprayers, frequency scramblers, and electromagnetic pulse generators. The Vrak fighters found themselves under attack by weapons that hadn't existed minutes earlier. Their bio-armor couldn't adapt fast enough to the changing threats. Engineering Chief Min Seo Kim coordinated the battle from her command ship. She watched data streams from every human vessel, analyzing alien tactics in real time. The Vrak are trying to flank us from the left, she reported, sending counter-tactics to Squadrons 5 and 7. Theran ships are charging their main guns, came another report, transmitting disruption frequencies to all vessels in their targeting zone. Morvani are attempting a gravity slam maneuver, said a third operator, activating atmospheric chaos generators in the affected area. Every human ship became part of a single learning mind. When one vessel discovered an alien weakness, all human ships instantly knew about it. When an enemy tried a new tactic, human computers immediately developed countermeasures. The aliens had never faced anything like this. In every previous war, each species fought with their own methods and never changed. The Vrak always used bioweapons. The Theran always used reality manipulation. The Morvani always used gravity control. But humans used everything. They studied alien tactics and created counters faster than the aliens could adapt. Every human ship was a laboratory, constantly developing new weapons and defenses. Weapons specialist Dalmi Park activated her experimental systems. Her ship, the Logic Bomb, began broadcasting information viruses into alien computer networks. Suddenly, Vrak bioships began attacking each other. Their living computers thought nearby vessels were enemies. Theran crystalline minds started calculating impossible mathematics that made their reality weapons malfunction. Morvani gas brains became confused about which direction was up and which was down. What are these creatures? Felthane demanded as his fleet fell into chaos. They are learning from us, Ziktar realized with growing horror. They are adapting to our weapons faster than we can use them. Impossible, Foreman bubbled. No species can match 3 galactic powers at once, but the humans were doing exactly that. They weren't matching the aliens. They were surpassing them. Admiral Sung Ho watched the battle reports with satisfaction. The alien fleets were in complete disarray. Their weapons were useless. Their tactics were predicted and countered before they could implement them. Sir, his tactical officer reported, the enemy formations are breaking apart. They're trying to retreat. Let them go, Sung Ho ordered, but make sure they remember this lesson. Human ships allowed the alien fleets to withdraw, but not before marking each vessel with tracking devices. The aliens thought they were escaping. They didn't realize that humans now knew the location of every enemy ship in the galaxy. As the battered alien fleets limped away from the Sol system, their commanders tried to understand what had happened. They had brought the most powerful military force in galactic history. They should have won easily. Instead, they had been defeated by a species they thought was primitive. The humans had turned the aliens' greatest strengths into weaknesses. They had used the aliens' own weapons against them. For the first time in their long history, the three galactic powers knew fear. Taman Lee stood in the center of Earth's Defense Command. Around him, screens showed star maps and alien fleet movements. Red dots moved slowly toward human space. Each dot represented hundreds of enemy ships. "How long do we have?" asked President He Young-shin. She had arrived an hour ago when the emergency began. 3 weeks, Taman replied. Maybe 4 if they stopped to refuel. He pointed to the largest group of red dots. The Vrak are coming from the north. Their bioships are slow but very strong. Another screen showed crystalline vessels that sparkled like jewels. The Theron approach from the east, Taman continued. Their reality-bending weapons can tear holes in space itself. The third screen displayed strange cloud-like ships. The Morvani come from below the galactic plane. They use gravity as a weapon. President Shin studied the displays. "What do our allies say?" "We asked for help," Taman said sadly. "The Centauri Federation said they cannot fight 3 galactic powers. The Tau Ceti Alliance closed their borders. Even the Proxima Trade Union refuses to sell us weapons. So Earth stands alone. Yes, but we are not helpless." In another part of the building, Sujin Choi worked in a secret laboratory. The room was filled with alien technology. Broken weapons lay on tables. Damaged ship parts hung from the ceiling. For 20 years, Sujin had studied every piece of alien equipment that humans found. "The Vrak bioships are alive," she explained to her assistant. "They heal damage quickly, but living things can get sick." She held up a small vial of green liquid. "This virus will eat their hull material." She moved to another table. Crystal fragments glowed with inner light. Theron weapons use sound frequencies to break reality, but every frequency has an opposite. She touched a device that looked like a tuning fork. "This will cancel their weapons completely." At the third table, gas swirled in a clear container. Morvani technology depends on precise gas mixtures. Change the mixture and their ships stop working. She showed a spray bottle. "1 drop of this will disable their engines." Sujin smiled. "The aliens think we are primitive. They have no idea what human scientists can do when we really try." Meanwhile, the alien fleets continued their journey. On the Vrak command ship, Ziktar studied reports about human military strength. "They have less than 1,000 ships," he clicked with amusement. "Most are small patrol vessels. Their largest warship is smaller than our escort fighters." His aide, Riktar, brought more intelligence. "Human weapons are very basic. They use simple missiles and energy beams. No bioweapons. No living armor. They cannot possibly hurt our ships." Ziktar was pleased. "This will be easier than conquering insects. At least insects can bite." On the Theron flagship, Velthane examined human technology reports. His crystal body glowed with satisfaction. "Humans use fixed-frequency weapons," he told his war council. "Their energy beams cannot adapt. Our reality shields will reflect everything they shoot at us." "What about their defenses?" asked Subcrystal Morthane. "Pathetic," Velthane replied. "Metal armor and basic energy shields. We could break their strongest ship with a single reality pulse." The Morvani had similar confidence. On their gas giant-sized command vessel, Formon reviewed the invasion plans. "Human ships move so slowly," he bubbled with laughter. "We can create gravity wells around their entire fleet. They will be trapped like flies in honey." "Should we bring extra prison ships?" asked his second-in-command. "No need," Formon replied. "Most humans will die in the first attack. The survivors will surrender quickly." Back on Earth, Jinho Nam worked in his private workshop. He had been a military engineer before retiring to civilian research. His small building was filled with strange machines and half-built inventions. "The aliens all make the same mistake," he said to his computer. "They assume their technology is the best possible. They never think someone might find a better way." He showed his latest creation to the camera. It looked like a simple metal box. "Vrak bioships regenerate using quantum cellular repair. But what if we reverse the process?" He pressed a button. The box hummed softly. "Instead of healing, their ships will dissolve themselves." Jinho moved to his next invention. This one looked like a mirror. Theron reality weapons work by changing the laws of physics in small areas. But reality wants to stay normal. The mirror began to glow. "This device strengthens normal reality. Their weapons will backfire." His third device looked like a small fan. Morvani gravity manipulation requires perfect gas density. This creates random air currents that make their calculations wrong. No gravity control means no weapons. All across Earth, similar scenes played out. Human scientists and engineers worked day and night. They created weapons the aliens had never seen. They built defenses the galaxy did not think possible. The aliens had made a terrible mistake. They thought humans were just another primitive species. They did not understand what made humans special. Humans were the only species that learned from watching others. Every other race in the galaxy developed their own technology and stuck with it. The Vrak always used biological weapons. The Theran always used reality manipulation. The Morvani always used gravity control. But humans studied everyone. They learned from every enemy and every ally. They took the best ideas from every species and made them better. Dr. Yoon-Young Park worked at the Seoul Research Institute. She had spent her career studying alien psychology. Now she prepared profiles of the enemy commanders. Ziktar is overconfident, she reported to Defense Command. He has never lost a battle. He will attack directly and expect easy victory. Velthane believes Theron technology is perfect, she continued. When it fails, he will be confused and slow to adapt. Foreman thinks in terms of overwhelming force. He will try to win quickly with his biggest weapons first. All three leaders share one weakness, Dr. Park concluded. They have never fought an enemy that could surprise them. When humans do the unexpected, they will not know how to respond. The alien fleets were now only 2 weeks away from Earth. Long-range sensors tracked their every move. The three forces would arrive at almost the same time. Taemin Lee called a final meeting of Earth's Defense Council. Military leaders, scientists, and engineers gathered in the command center. Everyone knows their job, he said. The aliens expect to find a weak, primitive species. Instead, they will discover that humans are the most dangerous opponents they have ever faced. Are we ready? President Shin asked. Taemin looked around the room. He saw determination on every face. We have been preparing for this moment since humans first looked up at the stars. We may not have the largest fleet or the oldest technology, but we have something the aliens do not understand. What is that? We have the human spirit. We never give up. We always find a way to win. Outside, Earth's orbital defenses powered up for the first time. Hidden weapons emerged from asteroid bases. Ships that had been disguised as civilian vessels revealed their true nature. The aliens thought they were attacking a defenseless world. They had no idea they were flying into the most carefully prepared trap in galactic history. Hyunwoo Kim walked through the long corridors of Kepler Station. His black diplomatic suit felt heavy on his shoulders. Behind him, Boram Park followed quietly. She wore the dark blue uniform of Earth's military. Her eyes moved left and right, watching everything. The space station was huge. It floated between two stars far from any world. Aliens had built it as a neutral meeting place. The walls were smooth and white. Strange symbols glowed softly along the edges. The air smelled different here. It had a sharp, clean scent that made Hyunwoo's nose itch. Remember, Boram whispered as they walked, we are here to make peace. But something feels wrong about this meeting. Hyunwoo nodded. Earth had received the invitation 3 months ago. The message was simple. 3 alien powers wanted to end their war. They needed humans to help make peace. It seemed like good news. Humans had never been in a galactic war before. They reached the main meeting room. The door opened with a soft hiss. Inside, the room was circular and very large. A round table sat in the center. 3 groups of aliens already waited there. The Vrak looked like giant insects. They had 6 arms and 4 eyes. Their bodies were covered in hard, dark shells. They clicked and buzzed when they talked. Their leader, Ziktar, sat perfectly still. His 4 eyes stared at the humans. The Theran were made of living crystal. They looked like walking diamonds. Light moved through their bodies in bright patterns. Their leader, Velthane, glowed with blue and white colors. When he moved, his body made soft ringing sounds like music. The Morvani were the strangest. They looked like clouds of gas held in glass suits. Colors swirled inside them. Their leader, Formon, changed from purple to green as the humans entered. Bubbles floated through his body. Welcome, Ziktar said. His voice sounded like metal scraping against metal. The small mammals have arrived. Hyunwoo sat down at the table. Boram stood behind his chair. She placed a small device on the table. It looked like a simple data pad. The aliens did not seem to notice it. Thank you for inviting Earth to these peace talks, Hyunwoo said. He spoke slowly and clearly. We hope to help end this terrible war. Velthane made a sound like breaking glass. It might have been laughter. Help us. You soft creatures have only just learned to leave your small world. Your species is very young, Foreman added. His voice sounded like wind blowing through caves. We have been fighting war since before your son was born. Boram's hand moved slightly. She touched a button on her belt. The small device on the table began working. It looked like it was just recording the meeting, but it was doing much more. It was scanning every piece of alien technology in the room. Yunwu opened his folder. Inside were papers covered with Earth's peace plan. Human diplomats had worked for months to create it. The plan was fair to all three alien powers. It would stop the fighting and help rebuild damaged worlds. We have studied your war carefully, Yunwu said. Earth believes we can find a solution that helps everyone. He began to read the peace plan. It talked about shared resources. It suggested new trade agreements. It offered ways to solve problems without fighting. The plan was detailed and careful. The aliens listened for a few minutes. Then Ziktar began clicking his mouth parts. The sound was loud and harsh. This is foolish, he said. You understand nothing about galactic politics. Your species has no real technology, Velthane added. His crystal body flashed bright red. You still burn chemicals to move through space. How can you understand our advanced civilization? Foreman swirled faster inside his suit. Perhaps humans would make good servants. You seem eager to please your betters. Yunwu felt his face grow hot, but he kept his voice calm. We may be young, but we have fresh ideas. Sometimes an outside view can solve old problems. The three alien leaders looked at each other. Something passed between them. A shared understanding. Boram saw it too. Her muscles grew tight. Ziktar spoke first. We have decided something during these talks. Yes, Velthane said. His body glowed brighter. The three powers have found something we can agree on. Foreman laughed. The sound was like gas escaping. We will divide human space between us. Your worlds will bring order to this part of the galaxy. The Vrak will take your industrial worlds, Ziktar announced. Your factories will serve the hive. The Theron will claim your energy-rich planets, Velthane said. We need more power for our crystal cities. The Morvani will govern your agricultural worlds, Foreman added. You grow food well for such a primitive species. The room became very quiet. Hyunwoo looked down at his peace plan. All that work for nothing. Boram's hand moved to her weapon, but Hyunwoo shook his head slightly. I see, Hyunwoo said finally. There never were any real peace talks. Of course not, Ziktar clicked. We have been at war for too long, but conquering humans will be easy. We can do it together. Hyunwoo closed his folder. He stood up slowly. Boram picked up the small device from the table. Its work was finished. It had recorded everything it needed. Thank you for your honesty, Hyunwoo said. Earth will consider your proposal, the aliens laughed. Different sounds, but all meaning the same thing. They thought humans were weak and stupid. Hyunwoo walked toward the door. Boram followed him. At the doorway, he turned back. One more thing, he said. You should know that humans learn quickly. We remember everything, and we never give up. Ziktar waved a clawed hand. Empty words from a dying species, Hyunwoo smiled. It was not a happy smile. We shall see. The humans left the meeting room. Behind them, the three alien powers began planning their invasion. They talked about dividing ships and weapons. They discussed which species would attack which human worlds first. They were very excited about their easy victory. None of them noticed that the human device had copied every piece of technology on the station. It had recorded their military frequencies, their shield patterns, and their weapon signatures. Most importantly, it had learned how their different technologies worked. As their ship left Kepler Station, Boram looked at the data. They have no idea what they just did, she said. Hyunwoo stared out at the stars. No, he agreed. They do not know humans at all, but they will learn. The journey back to Earth took 3 days. During that time, the alien fleets began moving. They headed toward human space, confident and happy. They thought the war was already over. They were about to learn how wrong they were.